I did not believe this once. I thought that there were but a few who had real ability, and that the rest of us belonged to the mob. I venture to say that it will be almost impossible to pick out a single person in any large establishment who does not have the ability along some line that could make him outstanding if it were developed. I am dictating this little article for the ambitious man or woman, not for the man who is too lazy to develop what is in him, but for the man who is unsatisfied with anything but the best. As I study men and women, I am convinced of this. There are very few who have developed to the limit the possibilities within them. There is no overdevelopment. Many people are in the wrong place in life. They have no gift for the thing they are trying to do. They are doing it simply to get by. There is room and a salary waiting for the man who has ability and is willing to put hard work into it. Choose your work rather than have the work in which you have no interest thrust upon you. Find out what you can do, what you like best to do. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your handicaps are. They have never made a handicap that could hold any man down who had in him the yeast to rise. Most of the people who are at the bottom because they will to stay there. That is where they belong. It is a hard thing to say, but it is true. I am now what I willed to be through all these years. The first thing to do is to find out what you want. Set your eyes on the goal, then fight for it. There must be an objective. When you find that objective, set your compass and sail for that star. Do not stop until you reach it. That is the mark of a winner. That is the attitude that creates success. Most people do not fail because they don't have potential. They fail because they never bothered to ignite it. Talent unused is like a seed never sown. It holds potential, but never multiplies. Life responds to effort, not wishful thinking. Wishers wait, workers win. Every man who has achieved anything worth remembering began as a dreamer, but he did not remain in the realm of dreams. He brought his dreams into the crucible of labor, patience, trial, rejection, and persistence. The man who decides to stay at the bottom because it's comfortable or familiar has traded glory for mediocrity. And though the world may excuse it, time will not. The clock never lies. It records effort, not excuses. That's why the question is not what you were born with, but what you're willing to become. Will you rise above your comfort? Will you outgrow your excuses? Will you finally realize that your ceiling is self-imposed and your limits are negotiable? There are no permanent limitations except the ones we accept. You may not be the strongest, but you can be the most determined. You may not be the fastest, but you can outlast others with consistency. Greatness is not given. It is carved out through discipline and fierce intention. Every gift within you is like buried treasure. It will not surface until you dig with focus. Digging is painful, tiring, and sometimes lonely. But the man who refuses to dig has no right to complain about being broke, unknown, or unused. The greatness within you is not waiting for external validation. It is waiting for your permission to grow. When you refuse to act, your talent rusts. When you delay your purpose, someone else suffers the absence of what you were meant to offer. The world doesn't need another passive spectator. It needs a bold contributor. You were not made to merely pass time. You were made to press through, to leave marks, to affect destinies. You are not the sum of your limitations. You are the expression of your decisions. Your will is stronger than your weakness. Your focus can outlive your failures. Every time you say yes to discipline, you defeat the voice of delay. Every time you choose growth over ease, you are saying to yourself, I refuse to be average. Average is overcrowded. Excellence is available, but it's not cheap. It requires commitment, not convenience. If you keep waiting for the right time, you will wait forever. There is no perfect moment, only a willing heart and a decisive step. You may stumble, yes, you may fall. But falling is not the end. Refusing to rise again is. Winners bleed, but they don't break. Champions cry, but they don't quit. The people you admire were once invisible. They rose not by magic but by mastering moments of mundane discipline. That is where transformation begins, in small repeated choices. Choose to grow even when it's uncomfortable. Choose to practice even when applause is absent. Choose to show up even when no one notices. What you consistently do, you eventually become. If you sow hard work, you will reap distinction. If you sow excuses, you will reap regret. Which one do you want? Life is short, but purpose is eternal. You were not made for fear, for sleepwalking, or for settling. There is something inside of you that the world needs. It might be dormant, but it is not dead. Wake it up, train it, speak to it, feed it. Starve your fears and nourish your potential. The man who refuses to grow is choosing to die slowly. But the one who says, "I will not leave this earth without maximizing what I was given," that is the man who lives truly. Decide today, not tomorrow, not someday, now. What is it that you would do if you knew you couldn't fail? Do that thing. What would you learn if you believed your mind could stretch? Learn it. What skill would you master if you stopped saying, "I'm too old, too busy, too behind"? Master it. Your best season begins the moment you begin. The moment you stop overthinking and start moving. The future doesn't belong to the passive. It belongs to the intentional. It belongs to those who take full responsibility for their lives and give themselves fully to their mission. Don't let another year pass you by without seeing evidence of your development. Don't just age evolve. Don't just dream do. Stop waiting for motivation and start working from decision. Work is what produces clarity. Action is what gives birth to confidence. The man who waits to feel ready will be left behind by those who felt fear and still took the step. Do not let fear parent your decisions. Let vision lead you. Let purpose hold your hand. Let hunger drive your day. One step at a time. One discipline at a time. One lesson at a time. It all adds up. Before you know it, you'll look back and see a trail of growth that surprises even you. Don't measure your worth by comparison. Measure it by the courage to become. That's all that matters. You will not reach your goal in one day, but you can destroy delay today. Begin. Keep going. Let nothing stop you, not opinions, not failure, not fatigue. There is more in you, so much more.